So, for today's project, this. Now you might be wondering, why on earth is there like a plastic wrapper in a roll? That's because I'm old, and that's because I'm cheap, and this was supposed to be a doorstop, which I sellotaped to a screw, yes, I am that person, and wrapped it round like that, and then just created a door bump for this. Obviously I can't do it with one hand, and I'm holding the phone with the other. So you get the idea. Yes, it was functional, it did the job, but then the sellotape gave up, and then that was me. And now I've got a 3D printer. So the idea, if I remember how to draw, back in the day I used to be able to, the idea is to have a elliptical, yes, look at that, I used to be able to draw an elliptical doorstop, that is the dog nudging the camera there, with a disc underneath with, say, 2 pins in it, and then put a wee smiley, no, 2 pins in it, and be affixed by a screw there, which I then pick up, spin, and drop. So I either get this side hitting the door, or this side hitting the door. I think that's quite clever. On the bottom, you can hear me, I've still got the cold, that's why it's taking so long to make another video. On the bottom, say, pinholes for the pins to drop into, and say, I don't know, to make it easy, a wee kind of, what do you call it, track for the pins to be in. And so say that's the deep holes, that's where the pins drop into. This is where the pins stay when you lift them, but don't actually leave, because obviously want to keep it fixed to the ground. I'm not quite sure how to attach the top to the bottom. So from the side, say, if we had, if that's the puck at the bottom, so in take drawing you have to do dotted lines to show that it's behind. So dotted lines, there we go. And then you have like a track there, and then obviously not to scale. I'm not going to print this out or it'll just be an absolute shambles. But this would be where the pins fall in, this would be the track, and I think maybe a solid bit there. So technically, you drop that bit out there because that's there's no cut. So we pick it up, spin, this is the bit that's screwed, this is the bit that fixes here. Oh, should have put a wee hole there. And then, so maybe even a peg actually. A peg, there we go. Could do that. And then a cap on the peg. I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. I'm not quite worked out tolerances. So if I made like a wee lid that snapped on, that would be quite good. I don't know how to do that. I may have to look into that. And how to keep it. So obviously you need to be able to lift this up. So say if this is be quite thin like that really, but you want it strong enough to be able to hold the door, and then it would only really have 2 pins like that, and then a wee hole for the screw like that, or the peg, sorry, to come up, then the screw, and then maybe even a wee sunken bit where you could put a clip of lid in. That might do, although this still doesn't stop it popping off. I'm not quite sure how to do that yet, unless I had a peg that popped in and screwed on, maybe. If I put the peg in from the, good thinking. If I put the peg in from the top and then screw it to the ground so it's separate to this. So 3 parts, not 2. That's probably got to be the easiest way. And then, yeah, so a T-peg, the actual doorstop, and the bottom puck. And the easiest way to lock it in place, apart from like to stop it to rocking about once it's in, you guessed it, magnets. I'm going to put some magnets in here and on the end of the pugs. The pugs, that's a new word, that means pegs and pucks. I don't know why I came up with that, but here we are. So let's see if I can make this magically appear. We're going to start with adding a mesh. See if I can remember how to work a blender. highly doubtful, but here we are. And then if I want it nice and smooth, remember to add vertices. So could have done that in real time and just dragged it like that. There we go, actually that's nicer. We'll do it 100. I don't know if that makes much difference, but for the puck, I'm wanting a smooth puck. And then we'll make that, see, I'm completely flying by no plans. And I'm going to make it, I have to change the size, didn't I? So that's 200 by 200. No, what, nah, that's too big. What I should have done, and what I'll do now, is measure the actual floor. That would help. A 50mm disc and a 100mm stop. So I'm going to make that 50. Oh. Alright my boy, what's happening? My dog has come, he's demanding attention. He's obviously been slighted in some way in a past life. What is going on with me? And, oh yeah, height-wise, what height-wise do you think, Rumsey? Will we go 30mm, will we? 30mm, because we have to get pegs in there, mind. What do you think? 40mm, we'll go 40mm, that's quite big. I might use up more plastic. It's no bothered. Just says, use all the plastic you've got, big man. So we'll go 40mm. And that gives us our puck for the centre. And before we get any further, save as, and I'm going to call it new folder. Where's new folder? Yeah. I'm going to call it doorstop, because it is indeed a doorstop. That means something else in Scottish. Oh, if I make another puck, I'll duplicate it and then paste the object, move the object out the way. If I remember how to do this, the moving, there we go. And then if I make that puck, I keep saying puck, it's not a puck, it's a cylinder. So if I make that, say 40, that's 30 even. Reason for that, 30, and then put it in wireframe, bring that in. Yeah, that gives me enough there. And then, actually it should be about 35, shouldn't it? Yeah, 35, there we go. And then duplicate that one and paste it. And make this one, what size of peg? 5mm. I'll try to make it structurally quite strong. We'll make it 25, and that way the peg will be 10mm. There we go. So that's the peg track. Cool. You alright, Jinsy? What's happening, son? Nothing? No bothered? Cool. And then I've been distracted there by the dog, that's all it takes. So if that in there and that in there, I'll make that hollow. So if I join that and that, move that out of the way. Yeah, I want to subtract. So what are we calling that? Cylinder 1 and then 2. So I want to subtract cylinder 2 from cylinder 1 with a wee spanner thing. Boolean and subtract cylinder 2. Exact. Biff. There we go. Nice. That's a really awkward way of looking at it. So that gives us that. That's our stamp. Right. Enough procrastinating. Move it along. This is me just enjoying my wins. You've made a cylinder. Jenny, is there a reason you're having a bit of wine, son? So I'm gonna, if this is gonna be our main thing, we'll call it main. Right, that's enough. Nobody needs it. I don't know what's going on with me, but yeah, thank you. Right, main puck. Remove balloon and remove cylinder. Was it 1? Forgot what it's called now. 1, yeah. And that should be. Move that away. What are you doing? Why is it not moving? Oh, it's because it's moved. Yes, look at that. Put a candle in that. So that is track 1. Is that quite deep? I can maybe trim it at the end. So that's that. So I need now 2 holes. Pegs even. So I need to create a new cylinder. Make them 10mm wide. And then it doesn't really matter about size. We'll make it, I don't know, 60 just for the visibility. There we go. Put on there, bring it out to there. Oh, why is that not? What's going on there? Why is that not? And wait, we meet our first obstacle. So that's not the right size. What size is that then? Oh, it bugs me that it does it for the middle. Still don't know how we do that from the edge. Scrap it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6mm roughly. Why is it 6mm? Or is it 5? We shall find out in. Yeah, it's 5. Yeah. So apparently 35, 25, I forgot to count for both sides. So it's 5mm each side. Is that quite big? I'm just going to look. It's not massive. I'd much prefer it to be 10mm. So let's see if I can make the same thing again. Move that out of the way. Make that 10mm because I want to keep it at 10mm. Otherwise I'll stamp it and forget and then wonder why it's all wrong. So that was a good idea. We'll get rid of it though. And then that's the 25 one. Jenny? Jenny? Yes? Duplicate that one. So make that 45. And then cut this from that. Yes, this is offered. This is just how I work. So if I put that in the middle, yeah, and put that in the middle, yeah. Have I done the right thing there? Yeah. And then, just want to double check something. Yeah, that's fine. Then cut cylinder 2 for 1. Boys, do you want to chill the beans there? Boys? Boys? A boxy. So then I move that on to there. I don't know if you can hear that. They've decided now is the time to have a fight. Perfect timing. Aye, go for it, Robbie. See what you can. Oh, control zooms in and out. Look at that. Who knew? Holding shift zooms it. That's all I needed to know. Move that on to the middle. And then main buck, and I'll remove cylinder 1. Boys, is now the good time for that, do you think? Is it though? I didn't give me your attitude, boy. Main buck. Remove, what was that again? See how easy, that's my life. I've got to fight round the dugs. Cylinder 1, so we'll remove cylinder 1. So that's cylinder 1, we'll move it away. And that gives me that. Ah, no! I've went full length. What was I thinking? See? Dogs, man. Dogs and their drama. Oh, I just want to double check that I've went back. No. That's better. Just check I hadn't gone back too far and it's upside down for some reason, which is minus y. That's a bit of hard cut. I mean, technically I should move that, and that way it's got, why is that a different size now? It's cut in down there for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 mil, so we want 2 mil, 20 mil, 4 centimetres, 2 centimetres. Trim that out. That's the only one, that does nothing. Well done, Robbie. That's better. Apparently it shows you that. Did you see the way it changed colour? I'm guessing that it shows you that. Why have I got a funny... There's a funny line there now. Is that because I got too creative and it didn't like that? That's alright. And then I need to go to the top. Put that back in wireframe so I can actually see what I'm doing. Is that the top? Yep. So the top is Z. Move this on to the track. Yes, that's exactly what I want. This on to the track there. Make it about centre, is that centre? It's neat. It's very neat that. Very neat that. It'll do though. And then minus y, that shows me the thing. So if I then make that peg another centimetre, do you think that's enough? Give it a bottom to hold it. Should be, shouldn't it? So we'll call that the peg hole. And then remove the peg from it. Move that across. Same again. I mean, that's where it should be, but it looks like it's overlapping. Yeah, no matter. Nobody's winning any prizes for this. Remove the peg. Shift that out of the way. And that should be there. Nice and simple. What I could do is keep in the middle. Yeah, I should have kept the middle and then trim the outside. I'm not sure how to do that. I might just extend that bit, add a bit, that's what I'll do. And then lastly but not leastly, put it back in wireframe on the top. I don't know that I need it a full centimetre. I need a hole to screw the peg down, the T-cap. What I'm calling the T-cap. How wide's a screw? Don't know how wide my screw is. I'll find one, it's fine. I'll work backwards. So if I have... Oh, no, I want... If I just shrink that a bit, that's it, so I can keep it manageable. And then bring that in. So, what are we talking, 5 mil for a cap? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's there. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, too many lines. Cut that from that. And then move it out of the way just a second, just to make sure it's cut. Yep, that's fine. And then back again. In fact, there we go, perfect. And then make that, what are we making it? 6 mil for a screw. then make that, and go 100, move that down, and then just remove it from that. And that should be a very simple puck. There we go. Nice. And now, if the pegs drop in there and that turns and it goes in, I could really do with trimming the edges off though. Not quite sure how to do that. I could do it just a cheaty way, which is the simplest way I can think of, because what is it they say? Give the laziest man the hardest job and they'll find the easiest way to do it. Hello! So I'm going to add a mesh, which is going to be a cube. Going to make the cube. Alright, Jenzy, how's the camera? Is it impressing you there, my boy? Make it 50 wide and maybe, I don't know, 100. And then make that, doesn't matter, 100 again. That gives me that. You can see what I'm going to do. I know, you're there before me. Well done. See? That wasn't it. Just making sure that's the top bit. Yep. So I didn't trim the wrong bit because I'm awfully bad for that. There we go. And then put it back on my wireframe. And then move that up. I don't really need it that big, do it. I'll shrink it a bit. There we go. Move that down, and then move it to about a centimetre down, and then trim off a centimetre of the edge. Yeah, so as long as I leave that bit on there, I've went too far. So there. Now I'll move that from, I'm going to call that the trimmer. Don't ask me why. Remove the trimmer. I mean, most people would have made a really sophisticated version of that. Not I. Move that to the other side. What's up there? That will need to be wide, innit? There we go, yep. And then remove the trimmer. There we go. Actually, it would have been quite good if we could have done like a locking mechanism with the top as well. So it was like a wee kind of cog. But, why complicate it? And then I'll move that to there. Move it in, so that's the... Alright boys, what's happening? Why is there hecking and pecking? Move it to there. Trim off the trimmer again. Always been quiet for far too long. Let us engage in some violent horseplay. What have we done there? Why did that not trim off? Oh, because it's in the wrong bit. Alright, see? That's what happens when I'm conscious of the dugs. So, I might move that across there like that. There we go. And then remove it. With the trimmer. Boys, do I do me a favour and settle down just for a minute? I'm nearly finished. No, you're no. I am. Calm your whole reading. I can understand this is no exciting for you. But it will be once it's done, because then I'll have a doorstop to stop you getting where you want to get to. There we go, so that's trimmed it down. Now you might think that was a long effort, but no, it does me fine. Oh, and finally, actually now that I think about it, I'm going to need a place for the magnets in here. So, my magnets, what are they again? 8mm. Rumsey? Go boy. Do you want to chill your absolute beans? I'll use this one. We've got 8mm by 8mm. Put it in the wireframe. Drag it across. A level of concentration on my face that you can't see. There we go. And just make sure it's only going in enough for a magnet, which I think is about 3mm. So 1, 2, 3 to there. Maybe just a tiny bit there, because why not? I'll do it. Boys, mind the conversation we had about 2 minutes ago where I said to calm down? Think we could stick to that? So it's held there too. And then move that to this. Did that work? No, it did not. Did it? What happened there? Nothing. Why did nothing happen there? Deep enough. Oh, that's why. Because that's the bottom. Well done, Robbie. So it's 3mm down there. That's it. And then move it back into the centre. Boys, don't know if that's the centre. I've been distracted by whatever's going on behind me. Probably eating my most favouriteest book or something. So that's 3mm down. 1, 2, 3, yep. And then I'll just remove that. Yeah. So if you get the right one, it goes up in colour. That's clever. It's almost like somebody thought that through. And I move that over here. Put it back on the top so I can see it. There we go. And then remove. Lit up again. Genius. You wouldn't believe it, but the dogs are my best critics. They constantly compliment me on set of the computer. You can tell, can't you? So there we go. Wee divots for the magnets, wee holes, wee spindle, bit for the cap, bit for the screw, right through. So with that, I think good to go. Gotta save it, and then we'll send it to print. Just that. Now I installed this new thing. If I remember how to use it, is it edit mode? And then you go in, no, it's not there. Is it mesh? There. And you go analyze, and it tells you if you get any wonkiness. Non-flat faces, overhang. Overhang's the bit you've got to worry about. That's the bit that goes wrong. But no, it's looking absolutely fine. So I'm going to send that to print. Export. 3MF, we're going to call it the bottom puck, which it's already called. Yes. And then I just got to make sure it's actually recording. Bamboo Studio. Right, boys. Right. Calm yourselves. Now, no barking. I don't care. Chill yourselves down. I don't know why you're looking guilty. It wasn't even you. Oh. Apparently I've got to download the new Bamboo Studio. So after a bit of fun and games, I've been able to import into the new version of Bamboo Studio, which was not a straightforward install given it's Linux, but I've sorted it, and here we are now. So I don't really know which colour to make it. I'm going to go with black. Why black, you say? Why not? Because I think I've got more black filament than anything else. So we're going to go with that. So I'm going to slice it. Just going to double check that it's okay. It looks okay. What is this here? What's going on there? Hold. Oh no, it's alright. Thought for some reason I'd imported two different things. I've just imported it as a 3MF file, exported from Blender. Hopefully has no issues. I don't know why it always says PTG. Hold. I'll need to sync with my own filaments, because I do not have the whatever it is, pt.1. There we go. And everything. Print plate, yep. And then black, yep. Send to the printer. Well, it's apparently going to take 39 minutes. 39 minutes, that's absolutely shocking. So we'll come back in 39.3 minutes. And there it is. Complete in all its glory. It really is amazing when you think about the fact that, what, an hour ago that didn't exist, or an hour and a half ago, however long it took me to make. But magic out of nowhere. The bottom half of the puck. I may have made a grievous error, I don't know yet. I think I'm meant to put this column on the top half to go in. I'll think it through, I'm not quite sure. However, that is the first half done.